the heroes of the day. They're just seem to be so self-centered.
And you know what I was gonna say was the thing about the people that represent us today. It says it speaks volumes to who we are. Yeah. That the reality of that P. Diddy really is an icon. An icon today. He really is.
And it's because of the music. It's because of MTV Cribs. It's because of the videos. When you see the Bentleys and the big cars and the big houses, it makes you want to go out and get those things. And you're willing to do whatever it takes to do it. Right. Even, not pay your mortgage so that you can go out and buy you a diamond chain, or, just crazy stuff that we do because of what we see on TV.
Right.
Yeah, complete irresponsibility. I think living in today's culture is reaching a place where it's every man for himself.
Yeah, and it breeds a very narcissistic society.
Oh,
and I think we are a very narcissistic society. When you look at today's culture, where we are today, we are so self-centered, so selfish, so vain, so overly consumed with us that
don't I look good?
Right. But it makes it almost it makes us unable to be connected and change our society because I only care about me.
Yeah.
Right.
And a community is unified. A community is connected together. And when we're only caring about ourselves, we can't be connected together. The young people, they're not connected.
Well, that's the thing. 10, 20 years ago, there were values. There was, you couldn't go, you couldn't curse in front of your next door neighbor because your next door neighbor would take off their belt and whip you and go and tell your parents that I whipped your child and this is the reason why. But now if you do that, they call CPS on you. Yeah. It's just the whole lifestyle that we see in front of us now, it's changed dramatically. And it's like you said, we don't have an icon. We don't have a Martin Luther King. We don't have a Malcolm X. We don't even have an Abraham Lincoln to stand up and say, this is what needs to be done in order to bring change. Everyone's afraid to take a stand to bring change.
Yeah, nobody won't really stand up. And I know that you have something that you want to say, Robert, but I wanted to bring that point out, that there is an organization that is taking a stand. And the name of it is StandForJesus.com. Stand for Jesus is restoring morality to our society for the next generation, because we know the generation coming up behind us, if someone doesn't take a stand, doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah. Right, and we're going to really have to do something, because the reality of it is where we are today, we are in like a daze. We're so
we're about to run into a brick wall.
Right, but we're so desensitized.
Yeah.
We watched a war on national TV. We watch movies and we play video games that are extremely violent. We see sex on TV. Yeah. And so now when we talk about moral issues, or we see things happening that are bad to our children, we're desensitized to it. We care for a moment, but to really make change.
You know what? I think when it comes down to making change, the people who have grown up in this culture, it's going to be really difficult for them to make change. But those of us who have still some of the old ways left in us are going to have to stand up and say what's right and what's wrong. We're going to have to stand up, and we have to start small. If we start in our families, we start raising our kids. We start saying to our kids, you can't do certain things, and stand strong on it. Then when our kids grow up, they can have morality and values so that they can not conform to the culture of this world. There's always going to be a culture of the world that leans toward morality. But if we raise our kids up into showing them what is moral and what's right, then they'll have a sense, they'll be able to stand.
And that's kind of difficult because today we have kids raising kids.
That's true.
There's very few people that do know the old culture, and some of those that did know the old culture have now embraced the new culture. We've taken on the whole acceptance mentality that I can entitle to this and I'm entitled to that, and I want me a big house and I want me bling bling and I want my Bentley, but don't want to do what's necessary to get those things. Yeah. And that's why our society is hurt where
that's funny you say that. That's real funny you say that, because I believe our society is lazy. People don't want to work. They want to get government checks. If I can just sit at home and watch Days of Our Lives, you know what I mean? People don't want to. They don't want to put in the necessary work that we did 10, 20 and 30 years ago to become the country that we became. They don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, today's culture, these kids want to start at the top, you know.
Right.
They see one person that makes it big in the motion picture industry or in the music industry or in business. Someone hits on an idea, and they think that everybody should hit on the idea or everybody's CD should do $1 million in the first day.
Right.
And they don't understand that. In order to really make it in society, you're going to have to lay some groundwork and some foundation and really build up on top of that. And that just comes from this quick popcorn culture that we live in today.
Microwave culture.
When you look at your culture and most of your friends have really nice cars but live at home, you know, something is wrong.
It changes. It changes.
And I think the government plays right into it, you know, with the whole housing market. Well, everybody has the right to have a house, to own a home. When it really isn't a right, it's a responsibility. And if you're not going to take the responsibility, then you have no right to have a home.
And that's what's really hurting our society, is that whole entitlement mentality.
Right.
Even our kids, they feel like, you know, you're supposed to give me Jordans that cost $200. You know,
They do.
You know, your life's
They do.
getting cut off, but I still want me a sidekick phone that costs $300. And so they don't understand all the main things that life is made up of, and the main thing is that we have to be responsible. We thank you for tuning in today to NationalOpinionNews.com. That's news with a Z. We thank you for listening to us. We are broadcast every week on Wednesday at 4 o'clock on KXXT 1010. Please go online to www.nationalopinionnews.com and blog your comments. Or you can watch this show on youtube.com/National Opinion News. That's news with a Z. We thank you for joining us again.